The world is full of bodybuilders, multi-skilled fighters, and black belt champions in Taekwondo. However, some among these are extraordinary. They went to extreme in their respective fields. In this video, we discuss about 10 people in the world you'd never want to mess with. Number 1. Esaumachi. Of all the ancient warriors throughout history, the ninja has always been arguably the most entrancing of them all. With near legendary mastery over stealth and incredible skills in hand to hand and weapon based combat, it's no wonder why someone like Esaumachi would dedicate their lives to becoming the ultimate modern embodiment of the ninja. Among his incredible displays of swordsmanship are his various world records, including the most martial arts katana cuts to a tatami mat, a mat with a density compared to human bone, as well as the fastest 1000 martial arts sword cuts. On top of all that, he also holds a record for the fastest sword swinging in the world. In 2013, Isao shocked the world by cutting a flying bullet in half. Reacting to a BB gun fired directly at him in time to cut it required a reaction speed of over 158 kilometers per hour. If you're gonna pick a fight, believe me, Isao Machi has more than proven that he is the wrong opponent to mess with. Number 2. Timmann. There are plenty of skilled martial artists all over the world, but Timmann stands out as a true warrior among the rest. Born in Switzerland, Tim started training martial arts at a young age of 8 and he never looked back. He's mastered a handful of different styles since then, including Taekwondo, Wushu, American and Thai boxing. Placing third as the reigning Taekwondo champion in his home country of Switzerland should be more than enough to convince most people that this is not someone that they want to mess with. After developing a fascination with Hong Kong based martial arts films, Tim began studying gymnastics and acrobatics, as well as starting a career in cinema himself. It wasn't long before his hard work and talent got noticed, and it wasn't long before Tim officially got to live out his dream of working full time in cinema and perfecting his unmatched martial arts skills. Number 3. Martin Ford. If you're a casting director looking for someone to fill the role of a very scary, very big dude who looks like he rips people's head off for breakfast, look at Martin Ford and your search could not be over more quickly. It's hard to see where the British bodybuilder got his nicknames. It isn't hard to see where the British bodybuilder got his nicknames. Nightmare, Hulk, and perhaps most fittingly, the Beast. Just look at him. With his massive physique and intimidating tattoos, this is the guy you'd want to hire if you're in for the market for a bodybuilder. Either way, be sure to not let that fool you, because Martin Ford has another nickname that he's very well earned: the scariest man on earth. On top of his extreme passion for bodybuilding, Ford can really move, and he's slated to make a debut in mixed martial arts according to some sources. Number 4. Tony Santamanat. If you've ever considered a life of crime, I think this next absolute beast of a cop might make you think twice. Meet Tony Santamanat, the Miami born Marine who sends terror down the spines of criminals everywhere. Tony enlisted in the Marine Corps straight out of high school and showed such prowess in combat that he was put into an elite mission squad, with whom he carried out special operations all over the world. Once he retired from the military, though, Tony hadn't quite seen enough action, and he decided to become a police officer. And well, let's just say he wasn't out giving parking tickets for long. With his elite background, the Extreme Marine was quickly promoted to running SWAT teams, contending with some of the most dangerous law enforcement operations around without breaking a sweat. Tony is a master of several forms of martial arts and competes in MMA tournaments regularly, as well as being a special operations weapon expert, meaning he can take you down from long or short range. Number 5. Blessing Abudibu. When it comes to keeping an online following entertained, nobody can top the antics of Blessing Abudibu. The Irish influencer wasn't satisfied with his just two Arnold Classics and four International Federation of Bodybuilding titles, and so Instagram was where he turned. Amassing an ardently following of a few thousand can usually be attained by anyone with a good enough physique, and at 245 pounds of lean muscle, Avoibu has without a doubt got that under his belt. But to get into the millions like Blessing, you've got to have a little something extra to keep people invested. The bodybuilding Adonis regularly creates loads of gut busting sketches and viral videos that garner millions of global views. Like the time he realized there was a CCTV camera recording him at the grocery store and he took to flexing his competitive poses for the enjoyment of whoever was monitoring the feed. Still, having a sense of humor isn't at all going to confuse anyone watching these videos. Just because blessing Abudibu can and will make you laugh, there's no mistake that this man is an absolute beast. Number 6. Hafbor Julius Bronson. With a name like Hafbor, you should already expect this man to be something of a demigod. In case this is somehow your first time on the internet after living under a rock for a decade, Hafbor played the Mountain in the HBO series of Game of Thrones. And well, I think you could see why they'd cast him for a character with that name. Hafbor is an absolute giant, measuring at a 6'9" and weighing in an unbelievable 441 pounds of pure muscle, and as of 2019, he can add strongest man alive to his already very impressive resume. In order to maintain his physique, Jorson takes an unbelievable 10,000 calories a day, or the equivalent of 18 Big Macs. When he isn't acting or training to be the literal strongest man on the planet, Hafbor likes scenic walks through his native home of Iceland. It's nice to see that someone that fearsome has a softer, gentler side, but definitely don't let that confuse you. He is not someone you would ever want to get in the wrong side of, because it's a pretty big side. Number 7. JD Anderson. In the world of bodybuilding, strongmen stand out as some of the most fearsome contenders the world has to offer, and even among strong men, JD Anderson is revered on a whole another level. The strongman has pulled off some absolutely inhuman feats as nothing more than a warm up, such as snapping baseball bats in half or rolling up steel frying pans with his bare hands. But that's just JD getting started. I mean, what does this guy even eat to have a power like that? But if somehow that isn't enough to show you that you should not be messing with this guy, then let me tell you about JD Anderson's very cool nickname, the Iceman. Because Anderson holds a very unique world record, one for breaking the most solid slabs of ice with his head. Number 8. Tony Jaa. When people want to learn to fight, they usually hit something soft to get warmed up, like a punching bag or a training dummy. But Tony Jaa is not some people. No, in fact, he's a Muay Thai master who prefers hitting tree trunks and bending steel beams with his kicks over something as simple as a punching bag. Jaa makes a living through his mastery over the martial art, working in movies and TV shows as a stunt double and fight choreography for action scenes. And it's not hard to see why casting directors pick him for their roles. But believe me, these videos of him training are far from movie magic. Tony Jaa can do that in real life. And if that's what he can do to a tree, imagine what would happen if he were to punch you. No, thank you. I'm alright, never knowing what that tree just went through. Number 9. Giga Uguru. Giga Uguru is a man who walks around calling himself a ninja, and there is nobody on earth who would dare to tell him otherwise. As a young boy, his parents signed him up for taekwondo classes, and he's never looked back since. But of course, you don't make this list for being satisfied with mastering just one martial art, and Giga went on to master Thai boxing, karate, and Krav Maga. Following this dream of being a ninja, a true ninja, Giga got into gymnastics and parkour and has crafted his own fighting style, the flashy one with all the flips you're seeing on your screen right now, out of his vast pool of skills to create a very unique and very deadly style of his own. Uguru shows that the human body can be pushed to unthinkable limits with enough determination, as you can see with him punching a concrete floor and a tree like they're just simple punching bags without even flinching. Jeez, that's a lot. Number 10. Edward Hawthorne. As a police officer in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and a veteran of the United States Armed Forces, it's definitely a good thing that this dude is on our team because with physical prowess like his, he could very well be a straight up supervillain, man. While sadly there doesn't seem to be any footage of Edward taking down criminals, there's plenty of clips of his insane workouts, and well, you can just let your imagination fill in the blanks. Like, just let it happen. I mean, do you really want to run from a cop who can chase you just as quickly as on his hands and on his feet? Most criminals probably, and I mean probably, just turn themselves in when they find out Officer Hawthorne is on their case. Because not even the most hardened thug can hope to challenge the world's most fit police officer. Many of his coworkers have even taken to calling him the super cop. And it's easy to see why. We're happy to say that with a real life superhero watching at their backs, the people of Pittsburgh can rest easy. This is it for today. See you in the next video.